Hi guys, I want to share a window of my story with you that I have been walking out for the last several years. And I'm kind of excited because it's actually now time to start sharing it. But the journey that I've walked out for the last couple of years has actually been quite painful. It's been one of the hardest seasons that I've been in, and I've actually said during the last couple of years, it's been a harder season for me than it was when I first became a single mom. The intensity, the pain, the anguish, the loneliness, the confusion in this past season has been, it's been undescribable. And the only thing that seemed to bring me relief in what I was experiencing was to quit, let the children fly, and to quit what I feel like I'm called to do on earth. And come on, you know that there's something else going on when you feel like the only relief that you get is by laying down your destiny. So obviously you know something else is going on, but I didn't have a language for it. I didn't have a name for it. And that alone was really crippling because I'm a fighter, I'm a go-getter, I'm an overcomer, but I need to assess the problem in order to have a solution. And I couldn't even assess the problem or give it an accurate name all these years. And so it's been really difficult. And a couple months ago, I started writing part of my book. And as I was revisiting some of my childhood memories, the Lord spoke to me and He said, the same spirit that you are dealing with today is the same spirit that your parents, mainly my mom, had partnered with with her parenting over me. And wow, that was a shocker. That was huge. And the Lord started saying that when my mom died, I no longer needed to overcome that spirit, so to speak, because she kind of took it with her. And so even though I got healed of the experience that I had with her and the wounds that it caused, I never had learned how to overcome that spirit. And so here I am now in this other situation where the same spirit is coming at me, and I'm feeling a little clueless, and I'm feeling a little uncertain as far as how to react and how to process this. But when the Lord gave it a name, now I have a solution, or now at least I can attempt to go after the solution and use His tools that He's given me for going after that. But I just want to add this one part because I feel like it's so important. Before I had the name of it, and I'll tell you that in a minute, but before I had the name of it, that my text went off, and the story doesn't matter, but my text went off, and somebody had sent me something, and it was releasing that spirit to me, or bringing that spirit to me, and I didn't even have a chance to react. Like I got the text, and I felt that spirit, and my dog peed on the couch. And I'm not a crazy dog lover to begin with, and I certainly do not like dogs that pee on my couch. And I was livid. I mean, I didn't handle that very well at all. And it only added to my grief, and it only added to my just feeling gross inside about everything that's going on, and kind of helplessness a little bit. So anyways, I called some girlfriends over, and I just need you guys to really just minister to me right now, and just let's just process some of this stuff together. And the Lord said that it actually was quite prophetic. What happened? That the couch is my place of rest, and yet somebody coming and peeing on it was disrupting my place of rest. But urination like that requires an immediate dealing with it. And I thought that was so good. That was so good. And so I'm like, well, Lord, what is this? What is the spirit? And He told me, He said, it's the spirit of intimidation. It's the spirit of intimidation. And the Lord further told me that when I partnered with it in that moment, when that text came over, and my dog urinating, it was me receiving it and then releasing it, that it actually made my potty-trained dog pee and lose his bladder. And I just felt like that was so powerful to be able to see the effects of that spirit of intimidation when we partner and we release that into our homes. To those around us. And so, I had spent, several weeks just really exploring the spirit of intimidation in my life, and how I had partnered with it, and how I had come underneath it, and how I had allowed it to come in. And, come on, it is crippling. And we went on vacation recently, and the Lord said, I'm going to speak to you through a sign. And he normally doesn't speak to me that way, so I was super, just filled with expectancy, and I was really excited to see when the sign was going to show up. And sure enough, a couple of days into it, we were having breakfast, and the TV was on. I don't watch news, and so it was kind of a big deal to sit there and watch it for the first time in a while. And the story of the United Airlines story came up, and he started speaking to me, and he said, they fly by the name of United, but they walk in intimidation. And I knew that was my sign. I knew that was my sign right there. And I really feel like what I have walked through for the last several years was, I've had this awareness that when I figured out what that was, and when I had the full revelation of it, that scores of people would be coming in after me. And I really believe that momentum, that has started right now. Wow, this stuff is so big, you guys. I'm going to talk in another video about when we are actually releasing the intimidation on somebody else, such as in our parenting. But that's not my video today. What I want to share today is, let me clarify what I'm not going to talk about. I'm not talking about the orphan spirit or woundedness that we have, or the fear of man or jealousy, where somebody else is really good at something and we feel inadequate and we feel intimidated by that. I'm not talking about that today. I'm talking about when somebody else is using the spirit of intimidation to try to control you, that they are using that spirit or partnering with that spirit over you. Obviously, what you do with it, if you can either reject it or come underneath it, is your choice. But I'm talking specifically with that spirit that is in operation trying to come over you. And my situation with it the last couple of years is it was so subtle. It was so subtle. It was so sly that it was so difficult. I could feel it and I would buzz. Like I literally felt something in my spirit, but I couldn't call it out as simple as I could maybe a bully on the playground. And so, anyways, I just want to speak to those of you that have been dealing with the spirit of intimidation over you. And I want to tell you that God has not given you the spirit of fear or the spirit of timidity, but of power, love, and sound mind. And I just want to encourage you that in the same hour that God had me watch the news where, the flyby United, but walking intimidation sign that he gave me. In the same hour, a prophet had released a video talking about intimidation. Just a couple hours ago, another prophet released a word about intimidation. We had our small group here tonight, and my daughter asked me what we were talking about, and I told her intimidation, and she said, Mom, I've got a great verse for you. And she starts reciting, for God has not given you a spirit of fear or timidity, but of power, love, and sound mind. And I told her, I said, baby, that's a great verse. That applies richly tonight. And she said, well, yeah. She said, I'm learning that in school. So even the school is in tune to what the Father is doing. And so God, I really believe that God is releasing breakthrough from those that have from the spirit of fear and timidity that has tried to come over the body. And so again, I just want to encourage you that as hard as it is, that you have the freedom to say no to that. And you have the freedom to walk in empowerment and power and a sound mind that is free from the lies of what intimidation speaks to you. There's nothing wrong with you. Intimidation communicates shame, that something is wrong with you. And when you come under that, or that's trying to come over you, it is a confusing journey. It's a very confusing journey, especially if the person that's releasing it is somebody in authority. And so where there is the spirit of intimidation, there cannot be power, there cannot be love, and there cannot be a sound mind. And so we want to be releasing this kingdom, and we want to reject and say no to this kingdom. So anyways, I hope this encourages you as much as this has been encouraging me. I know that this is the first of many, and I know that the Lord is doing a mighty work here with a spirit of intimidation and putting it underneath this foot where it belongs. So anyways, know that you're loved, be encouraged, and stay tuned because I've got a lot more to say about this one.